you're not careful, you'll get a smaller pension for longer service. Hey, I am Chuck the bureaucrat, and as you plan your military retirement, there's this strange little quirk about how your pension is calculated that means that there are good months to retire in and bad ones. If you want a full review of this thing, you can read Colonel Doug Fowler's Air War College paper. He lays out all the gory details, but I want to explain it a little more directly today. There are 4 factors that influence the amount of your military pension: your length of service, a 2.5% multiplier, and the average of your highest 36 months of base pay. Plus, there is an annual cost of living adjustment, or COLA increase. That COLA increase takes effect on the 1st of December of every year, and it's calculated just a little bit differently if you've been retired for the full year versus if you've been retired for a part of the year. And believe it or not, it is this one-time partial COLA adjustment that you get in your first year of retirement that causes all the fuss. See, the whole idea of these cost of living increases is to offset the effect of inflation. So every year, usually in November, the Department of Defense issues a memo giving guidance on how to implement cost of living increases. This is all based on consumer inflation over the past year, and then this memo gets implemented on the 1st of December. If you were retired before January 1st, you got an 8.7% COLA increase. If you retired in January, February, or March, you got a 7% increase. April, May, or June, you got a 4.4% increase. And then July through September was a 1.2%, and if you retired in October through December of 2022, you got nothing. Now, there are 2 odd things about the laws governing these partial COLA increases. Most non-military systems prorate the full annual adjustment based off of the number of months that you were retired. But the military system calculates COLA increases on a quarterly basis, and they calculate the partial COLA rate differently than they calculate the full COLA rate. And again, if you want all the details, read the paper. The thing is, if COLA was prorated for new retirees in 2022, it would have followed this line. And that means that there are certain times in the year where you can get a bigger boost from this one-time COLA adjustment. Now, to war game this out and see what month is the best month to retire, I'm going to have to explain one detail about military retirement, and I'm going to make one assumption. The detail is that most military retirees enter the retired rolls on the 1st of the month. So if your last month of service was June, then your retirement date will be the 1st of July. The reason this matters is because if you serve the full month of June, your partial COLA adjustment will be based on the quarter you retired in, and that'll be the July to September quarter. Okay, now the assumption I'm going to make is that your base pay has been flatlined for the last 36 months. That means that your average high 36 months of base pay is not increasing if you serve longer. For example, a master sergeant's base pay stops increasing at 30 years of service. And that means that by 33 years of service, their high 36 months of base pay will not increase unless they get promoted. This table shows when different ranks flatline. Okay, with all that in mind, let's take a look to see when is the best month to retire. And to do that, we're going to focus on that 2.5% multiplier. We always say that your pension is based off of your years of service times that multiplier, but technically that multiplier gets applied against partial years. So if you serve 20 years, you get a 50% multiplier. And if you serve 20 and a half years, you get a 51.25% multiplier. Essentially, your pension increases by 0.2% every month because of the combination of your length of service and this multiplier. If you're under the blended retirement system, it goes up by 0.17. And so the big question is, what is the combined effect of these additional months of service and this partial COLA adjustment? In this chart, you can see how the biggest boost in 2022 came from retiring on March 1st, and oddly enough, the lowest boost comes from retiring on September 1st. I mean, serve 6 months longer and get a smaller pension? That's a kick in the teeth. And now, here comes the big flaw with this whole military retirement decision-making process. You don't know how much money you're going to be receiving in retirement until after you've made the retirement decision. You can't even apply for a VA disability until after you've made the decision that you're going to retire, and the same thing is true about this partial COLA. I mean, I prepared my retirement plan in February of 22. I dropped my paperwork in April of 22. I retired on the 1st of March 2023, and I still won't know if the timing of my retirement process was the right decision until mid-November of 23. The best anybody can do is play the odds, and the odds are that the 1st of March gives you the biggest boost. Now, if you want to see what year of service is best for your retirement, watch this video.